How you doing, everybody? Jason here to give my review for episode 8 of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2012 series. And this episode was pretty good, pretty entertaining episode. The title is called Never Say Xever, which is, a clever little pun, but it's alright. It's an alright title. So, overall, this episode was mainly focused around Xever and Chris Bradford, who we see at the beginning of this episode. They return to the Shredder's hideout, and they inform him that they failed to, find out where Splinter is. So, Shredder puts Xever in charge, to defeat the Turtles. And, Chris Bradford doesn't like it that much, but yeah, he has to deal with it. And this episode, I think we got introduced to the Purple Dragons. Now, I don't know how important these guys are going to be to the overall series, but this episode, mainly focused on, like I said, Xever and Chris Bradford. But the leader of the Purple Dragons, he had like a small role in this episode, which was pretty interesting. So yeah, the Turtles go with April to this I think it's a sushi house owned by a guy named Motokame-sama. I think I pronounced the name correctly, Motokame, who's blind, and she decides to treat them to some food because they haven't been out. Well, they have been out, but they haven't been like out relaxing and stuff. And then they notice that Mokokame is getting harassed by the Purple Dragons. So the Turtles go in there and they kick butt. It's a pretty cool, well choreographed fight. The fight in this episode, I gotta say, was really good. The way it was choreographed and everything that happened. And Mokokame, after they defeat the Purple Dragons, Murokame treats the Turtles to some free food. And what happens here is that I believe it's either after the Turtles go back to the hideout or before that, where Xever and Chris Bradford get involved. Actually, wait, hold on. I think it has something to do with Mokokame. He got kidnapped. He got kidnapped later on in the episode by Xever and Chris Bradford so that they could go after the Turtles. Now, a little thing that happened here was the whole thing with Raphael and Leonardo, where Raphael was complaining that Leonardo was showing too much mercy against the enemies. He should be finishing them off. Not killing them, just beating them to a bloody pulp. But Splinter tells Raphael, showing mercy is not a sign of weakness. And I always liked this season. I always liked how Splinter was giving these little, information, wise advice sayings, which really show, how wise he is and how much he knows and why he's your master, of course. And pretty much, there was also some funny moments too. This is one moment I want to mention. This is one moment I almost forgot. The Turtles are planning to encounter Xever and Chris Bradford, and at this tattoo place. And right before they go in there, Mikey makes a comment about how he wants to get a tattoo of his face on his face, and he puts his hand down like this, and you see the 80s cartoon version of Mikey over his face. So I like that. I like how they did the little homage right there. So I know this show has been making a whole bunch of homages to the original 80s series and the comic book and 2003 series. So that right there was really neat how they did that. This episode, Xever was pretty cool. I mean, I thought he was just fodder, but he was actually pretty cool. He was holding his own. He managed to beat a couple of Turtles too. So I actually like Xever. I actually like him. He's a bit of a dick though. When Chris Bradford got captured and Raphael was threatening to throw him over the building, he didn't care. He didn't give a shit what happened to him. So he's a bit of a dick, but I like that. Fuck being good. Being a dick is awesome. But yeah, pretty good episode. Oh, also, before I forget, the Shredder is coming. In this episode, we see the Shredder saying, he's going to take care of this himself. If you want to get something done, you got to do it yourself. So the Shredder is going into action soon. So hopefully we see him in action. Probably I think we're pretty close to like the season finale, so we might see the Shredder in action before then. So I want to see how it happens because this is getting really interesting. So that's my review. Comment, rate, subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll catch you guys again next time. Peace.